Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Courtney and today we are starting another reading vlog. I know it's a new concept, but that's what's happening. I think I kind of want to try to make this one a little bit different than other reading vlogs by, we're gonna call it a TBR takedown. Now, I have seen other people do TBR takedowns and I can't remember how other people do it, so we're just gonna make it up as we go along for my version of a TBR takedown. As we speak, it is now March 2nd. It is Sunday. It's like 3 p.m. I did read one book in between the last vlog that I filmed and this one. I wanted to actually be able to start a book with you guys because I feel like I'm always starting the vlog while I'm in the middle of a book or multiple books. So I'm obsessed with Olipop too, if I haven't mentioned that on here yet. Okay, so first order of business is that I really want to read a book on my new Kindle. I just posted a short, so if you haven't seen that, go check that out, of me setting up my new Kindle. But I wanted to show you her because I'm literally obsessed. I got the Kindle Paperwhite in Raspberry, and I put a clear case on her with some little stickers. I will be changing these stickers out. I kind of got really excited when this came and I just like put stickers that I already had in there, and I do like them, but I don't love them. So I went and I ordered a bunch of new stickers. I ordered a little teddy bear pop socket and a dust plug charm. So I can't wait to show you guys when I get her exactly how I want her. But yeah, so I haven't really gotten to read off of her at all because she came yesterday. So sorry that I keep calling it a her. She came yesterday and all I got to really do is film that video and kind of get it set up, which only took me like 2 seconds. So yeah, I really want to read on this. So I do think you guys have already at this point seen my March TBR. Again, if not, go watch that video. I'm thinking I want to read a book on my Kindle, and I'm between Dawn of Onyx. Let me grab them. I am between, oh god, Dawn of Onyx and Rebel Witch. These are the two that I just like keep thinking about. Also, why is this so high? Hold on. That's better. These are the two that I am between right now. I'm kind of leaning towards Dawn of Onyx just because Rebel Witch, I think I mentioned this before, but I'm going to have to do some refreshers before diving into this of Heartless Hunter. But I don't know, part of me also wants to start this because then I'd be continuing a series and not starting a new one. We'll see. I'm not sure exactly which one of these is going to get picked up in this vlog. One of them, if not both of them. We're basically going to lay out the options for today's vlog slash my next week of reading. So these two are on the docket as options. And then I also really wanted to pick a book out of the Read It or Unhaul It jar, like with you guys. This isn't a Read It or Unhaul It video, but I just thought it might be kind of fun to like throw that in there to give me another reading option this week. So let's grab that. I also don't remember when the last time I updated this was, so like there's probably some new books on my cart that haven't gotten added to this, which is fine because honestly the whole point of this is to like read books that I've had forever and have been avoiding. So let's pick one out of here and then we'll have all of our options for the week. Oh, I got like 3. Hopefully this is one. Our first Read It or Unhaul It is, we have, come on, load, have A Darker Shade of Magic. I don't think that's ever going to focus, so that's fine. I'm glad that I picked this, but also like nervous because I think I've mentioned in the past that I'm kind of not intimidated by this book. I'm not intimidated by this book per se. It's more of just that the tone to me, which I could be completely wrong because all I've done is read the back and like the first page. The tone seems kind of like dreary because it's set in London. It's kind of giving historical, I think this might be historical fantasy. But at the same time, I do kind of feel like I need to start getting out of my comfort zone because I've been in a bit of a slump where a lot of the genres that I normally gravitate towards haven't been hitting that hard. I'm literally only thinking of like my past 2 reads, so I'm not going off of much when I say that. I don't know, I just need, I need something else. So yeah, let's put this on the docket. Although all 3 of our options right now are fantasy, so maybe we'll also, no, who knows, there might be another book later on in this video, kind of like thrown into the mix. But hey, it's a TBR takedown, so as long as we're reading books that are on my physical TBR, it counts. So I would say these are the 3 that we're looking at right now. Rebel Witch, Dawn of Onyx, Darker Shade of Magic, and then possibly a romance somewhere in between, but I do want my next book to be a fantasy. So I'm going to read the backs, do some research, and get back to you on which one I'm actually starting with. In a shocking turn of events, the only one available on Kindle Unlimited is A Darker Shade of Magic. So we are going to start with this one. Hello. Yep, we're gonna start with that one. Hey guys, I am back with some reading updates on Darker Shade of Magic. Had to think about that for a second, but first I wanted to open up some exciting book mail with you guys. I knew that I had some packages coming in today. One was a birthday gift that I'm so excited for. I have been highly anticipating these, and the other one, well, you'll see, but this beautiful blue box from Owl Crate. I have not actually opened this one yet. So we are opening this one and experiencing it together. I got the Owl Crate special edition of Deep End, and she's so pretty. Let's see if I can get this open with my nails, because I did not bring a knife in with me. Also, hopefully my camera doesn't die, because it's like, I feel like I charge it all the time, and it's already getting kind of low. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. The colors of this, are you joking? So pretty. The edges, I love. I also, as you might have seen, have already read this and I loved it. Actually, have you guys already? Did I read that? Yeah, I read that in a reading blog. But yeah, she's so pretty. Oh my god. The end paper artwork, the reversible dust jacket, and then the cutie little naked hardcover. Aw, I love it. And I love them. I love Lucas so freaking much. I don't usually buy special editions of romance books, but I had to have this one because it was so beautiful. And I had a feeling I would love it, and then as you saw, I did. Okay, I'll have to, oh, there's a cute note in the front. I will have to look a little bit more at this later, but I wanted to unbox it with you guys. So there's that. And then this next one is heavy, so I don't know if I'll actually be able to. Can you tell what we have here? Oh my god, this is what I asked for my birthday. It's the Acrylipics set of Throne of Glass, like the special editions. And I did already open these because, like I said, this was a gift from my husband, so I wanted to open them with him, you know? But they come with these beautiful overlays. We'll get to that in a second. But first, let me show you these. Are you kidding? I'm obsessed. I already did like go through I took them all out and like looked at each one. For example, we have the Assassin's Blade. They all have this beautiful foiling. Obviously you saw the edges. I like that the spines don't have anything, like there's no words on them. But I really want to show you, I'm not gonna take every single one out. There's gonna be a book organization video coming obviously soon so I can fit these on my shelves, and that's probably the time that I'll show you all of these more in depth. But oh my, this one, Queen of Shadows, for one of my favorite books of the entire series, but this dust jacket and the edges and the foiling and the back, you've got to be kidding. There's another little dragon. We've got flowers on the bottom. I'm obsessed. These are beautiful. Oh, the sound too when you freshly crack the pages on spray painted edges. They are absolutely stunning. And I couldn't be happier, and I'm so thankful to my husband for getting me these for my birthday. They literally just came in the mail today, and I was too excited, so I did open them. I'm gonna put them back in the box for now until I figure out where I'm gonna put them on my shelves, because as we speak, there is really no room. Like I said, I think a book bookshelf organization video will hopefully be coming soon. I'm excited to do that. I'm excited to do that with you guys. And I love watching bookshelf organization videos, so hopefully you guys do too. But yeah, that's my little haul. Sorry I didn't really get them out. They're kind of like hard to get out. But like I said, once I do my bookshelf organization, obviously they'll be out of the box so I can show them to you better. And they're gonna have a prime spot on my shelves. You bet your bottom dollar that they're gonna have. Oh, forgot to put these back in there, and I forgot to show them to you, but they came with overlays. I can't do anything with nails, guys. Like, what's wrong with me? There are overlay bookmarks for like every character in here, and it's their eyes. It's their eyes. So this one is Manon. It says from now until the darkness claims us. So you have one for pretty much every single character of those. You have them for everyone. We have Kale. We have Sam. Oh, I love these. The other overlays. This is gorgeous. The colors. We have, of course, the saying, once upon a time, in a land long since burned to ash, there lived a young princess who loved her kingdom. Beautiful. Oh, this one too. Are you kidding? The colors. Wow. I am obsessed. These obviously will go in the corresponding books, and that's where they will live, so that I can forever cherish them and have them in a safe spot. But yeah, that is it for that for now. I had to share my excitement with my besties because I know that you guys will care about that kind of stuff. My husband, he tries to care about the book stuff, but he doesn't really know. Anyways, time for a book update. So I did start A Darker Shade of Magic last night on my Kindle, and I got, again, I use both so I can keep track of how far I got, but I got 77 pages in, and there's a lot of parts. It's broken up into like a lot of parts. So I just got to part 4. And I am actually liking this a lot more than I thought I would. I don't know why. I mean, I guess it is a little bit of a gloomier tone and stuff because it's like set in London, but it's really not as like gloomy as I was thinking. The story follows Kel, and he is from Red London, and Red London is kind of like the good London. I think they do have magic. I think they have some magic, but regardless, they have magic. And then there's White London, which they haven't gone to yet, but White London is like bad London, and they relate it to like blood. There's Grey London, which has no magic, and so it's like gray because obviously it's more of a boring color. And I think, is that it? Red. Oh, and then Black London is like a bit of a myth. It's a London that doesn't really exist because it like the magic destroyed them or something like that. And Kel is something called, I think it's called an Antari, and he can travel between the worlds, and there's not many of them left that can travel in between all of the different Londons. He is one of them. So you start in the first chapters just following him as he goes about his days, and he's traveling in between the different Londons doing his whatever tasks he does. And he's kind of living a little bit on the edge because you're not supposed to transfer objects in between Londons. Like, you're not supposed to take something from Red London to Grey London, etc., etc. But he's kind of breaking the rules a little bit, and we haven't quite gotten to like his motives for why he's doing that. But he's kind of taking things from other Londons and then selling them to like collectors. I think it's just like something that he does for like a little bit of a thrill. But yeah, that's pretty much as far as we've gotten so far. He lives with the king and queen of Red London. The Prince Rye, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's like R-H-Y. The Prince Rye and him seem to be like pretty close friends. The king and queen of Red London have taken him under their wing, but he's not actually their blood. They're not really sure where he came from. And yeah, so he has magic. He's rare. People kind of seem to hold him in high regard, but also kind of fear him a little bit. And then we also just got a POV from our female, she might be a main character? I don't know. I already forgot her name though, because we only got like a chapter about her. Lila. Yeah, I think Lila is her name. Lila is kind of a bit of a thief, a vagabond, if you will, and doesn't seem to really have a home. She was staying on this ship and some stuff goes down, and now she's wandered into this tavern. She seems to know the owner of the tavern. She's talking to him, and that's all I've gotten so far. It's definitely just been setting up the scene, setting up the story, kind of giving you a feel for the feel of the book. But the first thing I noticed was, so I think I heard somewhere that this book was a little bit relegated to the likes of, I don't know if that's even the right word, Arcane. If you've seen the show Arcane, I'm obsessed with it, and I've seen a couple people compare a few things about this book with Arcane. And wow, if that's the truth, like, I think I'm gonna love this. Female main character, Lila, she's already kind of giving me a little bit of like Jinx vibes. I don't know if she's like quite that far in the Jinx direction, if you know what I mean, but she's kind of giving those free-spirited, a little bit crazy vibes, which I do enjoy. That's the update on this for now. It is Monday, 3:48 on Monday, and I'm finally done with most of my work. And I'm gonna go sit down. I'm going to read and relax, probably a little bit before dinner, and then also mostly after dinner. So hopefully I can get like a good few hours of reading in and let you guys know if I have any updates on this. But that's it so far. The book mail and the book update. I am back with some reading updates. It is now the next day. It is Tuesday afternoon, and I have been reading again for a little bit. I think last night the last thing that I showed you guys was that I was like 52% or so in, and I am now on like page 280 something, which is about 65% in, and I just feel like I am flying through this book. I don't know why I thought that I wasn't going to, not that I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but I guess I was intimidated by it. And once again, I don't know why. This always happens. Like, every time I'm intimidated, not every time, but most of the time, if I'm intimidated by a book and then I actually give it a chance, I end up liking it a lot more. And I think I'm really enjoying this because it's very different from most of the fantasy that I read. It's not giving romantic-y vibes. There might be like a subplot, like a little bit of romance, but that's not even a thing at this point. I think the last thing I remember telling you guys was that Lila had just been introduced to the storyline, and we are now much further into the plot. Basically, Lila and Kel end up having to, they kind of get like thrust together. She steals something from him and he needs to get it back, and then she ends up kind of being in trouble, and basically they just get interwoven, their lives, their stories cross paths, and now they are kind of working together. They are on a journey and an adventure, which is really fun. And again, I think last time I mentioned this is kind of giving me, it's not really giving Arcane vibes, but something about some of the characters, especially Lila, is reminding me a little bit of the characters in Arcane. Don't quote me on that because I don't know why, but yeah, that's kind of just like the feeling I'm getting right now. And again, it's not really, I don't know, it is kind of a gloomier tone, not just due to the fact that it's based in London, but a lot of the Londons are kind of dreary, especially Grey London. I think I mentioned this before, but Grey London has no magic and there's just no magic. It's called like the dull London. And then White London is feared, and the Danes who rule, I think they're brother and sister, they rule White London. They're like cruel and vicious, and the hands of power are always changing in White London. And so everyone kind of fears White London for good reason. And now, again, going back to the plotline, Kel and Lila are kind of on this journey where they're inevitably going to have to venture to the more dangerous Londons. And so I'm really excited to kind of see where this takes us. Again, I've been really pleasantly surprised with this plot and how fun it's been, and also just how fast-paced it's been. I'm loving the characters. I'm loving Lila, and she's just like, you know, your well-loved badass female main character. I'm also really loving Kel. He's just, I don't know, he's just a fun character. He's got his coat that has many different, it's like a magical coat, and you just like turn it and it'll change into a different coat. It's like a coat of many coats, if you will. And so I think that's really fun, but he seems to really care, I would say mostly for like his brother, Rye. I feel like I don't really know all that much about Kel, but from what I do know, I'm liking it. I'm liking his character. I am kind of hoping that there might be a romance between these two. Again, I don't know, because I haven't looked it up, if there's supposed to be any romance in this series at all, but I'm really enjoying this. So my plan is to definitely read a decent amount of this tonight. I think I only have a little over 100 pages left, so I'm hoping, I probably won't finish this tonight, but I'm hoping to finish it soon. So the next update you get from me probably won't be until I actually finish this, because I don't know what else I would have to say in between now and then. But yeah, that is the update for now. Hey guys, hey, I am back with more reading updates. It is now the next morning, so it is Wednesday morning. I did end up finishing A Darker Shade of Magic on my Kindle last night, and I loved this way more than I thought I would. I ended up settling on a 4.75 stars for this. Now, I didn't give it the only reason it didn't get a 5 stars because I feel like I save my 5-star ratings for books that give me the 5-star feeling, and I really can explain to you what a 5-star feeling is. Like, you know it in the moment when it's a 5-star feeling. I didn't quite get that, but I will say this was just so fun. This really reminded me a lot of like a very classic fantasy, and yet it was different than anything I've ever read, which I don't know if that makes sense. I say classic fantasy because it was very much focused on the adventure of it, and this was published in, I think, 2015, so that does make sense to me that it's got more of like a classic vibe, less of the like romantic-y stuff. There is like little tiny crumbs of romance, so I'm hoping that later on in the series we get more of that. I'm not gonna go over the setup of the story because I already did that in previous clips. The ending of this was really good. It was satisfying while still keeping me like interested and excited for the next book. I think the next one is called A Gathering of Shadows. So yeah, I am definitely adding this to my series list, which that's great for me because I already have a bunch of series that I want to complete this year. But I am adding this one in there because I really enjoyed this. I wrote a whole really long review on this actually last night because, like I said, I ended up having more feelings than I thought I would on it. Please hold. My favorite parts about this were that this was a fast-paced adventure story. There's dark magic afoot, there's danger around every corner, and our two main characters, Kel and Lila, come together to kind of go on this adventure, this dangerous adventure. I know when I say adventure, it makes it sound just like fun and cute. No, this is like, there's dark magic and there's just danger, okay? There's these twins ruling in White London who are evil. You have this person who's following them. Like, there's a lot of danger, but my favorite part is definitely the characters. Like, Kel he's likable and he's multi-layered. You've got a little bit of a mystery about him. Like, I feel like you don't get in his head a ton. So I would love to see more of him in the next book because I really liked him. But Lila was the real standout for me. She is like feisty, sassy. She's a cross-dressing thief who wants to be a pirate. And I don't know, I just love characters like that. She also, like I said, does remind me a bit of Jinx from Arcane, minus a little bit of the crazy, you know? I kind of just got that same like feeling, like that same independent free spirit feeling from her character. And yeah, I'm looking at my review right now because you know me, I always need a reminder and a refresh, even when I literally finished it last night. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's really, the rest of my review is me in my own words, just like kind of going over the plot, which I've already done that in a few clips. So we're not gonna go back through that, but I don't know, this was very unique. being that there are the parallel Londons that Kel can travel between. I've never read a fantasy like that before. Like, I've read portal fantasies, but not ones where it was like the same place but different. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's very, I don't know, that just seems very unique to me. And I am starting to think that I am a V.E. Schwab fan because I read Gallant last year, I want to say, maybe the year before, I don't know. I think it was last year though. I read Gallant and I really loved that as well. That's much more, that has more of like a middle grade feeling to me, or like a young YA feeling. And this is definitely more of an adult fantasy. I can't wait to read the second book now. I'm very excited for that. So that is my final thoughts on A Darker Shade of Magic. This was a good time. I highly recommend it. Now, the most fun thing after finishing a book is picking my next book. And sometimes that's really hard to do. We are choosing now between these two books. Like I said, A Dawn of Onyx and Rebel Witch. Rebel Witch is the second book in the Crimson Moth series. I actually, this morning, just watched a recap on Heartless Hunter, which is getting me excited for Rebel Witch, because I was kind of prepared to start this morning because I don't need to refresh myself in order to start a new series. But then I thought, with the last book, I started a new series, right? So maybe with the next book, I should complete this duology. And now that it's fresh in my mind from watching a recap, I think I might. I also looked on Libby to see if I could get either of these on my Kindle, because y'all know I'm obsessed with my new Kindle, but no, I can't. So we will be reading one of these physically. I think I am gonna try to start with Rebel Witch. So once I have started this and have some thoughts, I will get on here. I won't be able to say much because it is a second in a series, so I don't want to spoil anything for the first book, but yeah, those are the plans. I do have work to do today, so I don't know how much reading I'll get in right now. It'll mostly be later, but yeah, that's it for now. I'm already having so much fun with this. I don't know why I thought that I needed a little bit of a refresher, but like not that much. Like, I'm already back in the story and I am loving the start to this. I'm literally 20 pages in and our main male character has already said, "You have no idea the things I want to do to you." Anyway, she says, "We both know what you want to do to me, Gideon. Well, here's your chance." And then, of course, he says, "You have no idea the things I want to do to you." Also, why is this cracking like this? Anyway, I just had to read that little quote to you because I'm already I'm excited for this book. The setup has got me excited. It takes right off from where the last book ended. And if you know, then you know the first book had a little bit of a crazy ending. So I am really excited to get into this. I'm already flying through it. This is technically YA, so I always find that usually, not always, but usually YA is just you don't even realize that you're just flying right through the pages. So I'm gonna get back to reading now. I'm back with more reading updates. I think the last clip I showed you was when I first sat down to read yesterday. And since then I have read a lot last night, quite a bit this morning as well. And we are now, I think, a little over halfway through Rebel Witch. So this is going extremely well. It's very bingeable, very easy to read. I think, like I said before, I do believe that's because it's YA. It reads a little bit more, I guess I would say like upper end of YA, almost leaning towards adult. But yeah, it's really, really good so far. I am liking this even more than Heartless Hunter, and I think I rated Heartless Hunter, if not a 5 stars, it was like almost a 5 stars. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Again, I can't really say much about the actual plot of it because it is the second book in a duet, but yeah, I'm loving this. I'm loving where it's going. I love the chemistry between these two. The longing, the tension has been done really well. The forced proximity and how we get to be in those situations makes sense. The reasons that they're enemies make sense to me, because if there's one thing that I hate about some enemies to lovers books, it's that the reasoning behind making them that way is almost like not that believable or kind of far-fetched. And so it's very, I don't know if I want to say rare, but it's kind of rare to find an enemies to lovers romance fantasy where it feels like it makes sense and it feels real. So yeah, I'm having a great time. When I'm not reading the book, I'm thinking about the book, and I'm excited to read every single time I sit down to pick this up. So that's always a really good sign. Like I said, can't say much about the actual plot, but just know that it is a fun, fast-paced plot in this one. Again, I'm thinking I'm liking this one even more than the first one. But yeah, that's the only little update I have for you. I probably won't update you again until I finish. But this is on track right now, probably for like a high 4-star rating. Really digging it. And I wanted to update you guys on that before I go to my hair appointment, because I do have a hair appointment here in like an hour. And when I come back, because I'm also getting my eyebrows done, I'll be very red. So I was like, let's do the update now before I look like a crazy person. I'm not really getting anything crazy done with my hair. I mean, you'll see obviously after, but I'm just going to, well, you know what? I'll leave it a surprise. I'm not doing much, but I'll still leave it. I'll leave it in the future for you to see. But yeah, that's the update. What day is today? It's Thursday now. Thursday, March 6th. And yeah, that's the update. I just had to show you guys my hair real quick because I just got home from my appointment. My eyebrows actually aren't as red as I thought they were gonna be. They're usually very red for a couple days. But yeah, right now my hair looks very dark. It's a little shorter. I love it. But this initial darkness will fade out within like a couple washes. Like it'll get a little bit later within a couple washes. But then by summer, it really fades down to like a natural color. So that's kind of why I wanted to get more brown put back on, but I really like it, and I wanted to show you guys before we lose all natural light so that it's not a jump scare the next time I film a video and my hair is very dark and I'm very pale, so I like it though. I'm using my tiny tripod, so you can't, I have to like, okay. I have reading updates. So, I don't think I've talked about Rebel Witch since I finished it. I did finish this last night, and I rated it 5 stars. I liked this, I think, more than Heartless Hunter, and I looked back and I actually rated Heartless Hunter 5 stars, so I think, really, if I changed my ratings to be what I think they actually are, Heartless Hunter would probably be like a 4.5, and then Rebel Witch would be 5 stars. But we're just gonna leave it as it is. It was 5 stars back then when I read it, and this one was very close, if not 5 stars, but I didn't want to like rate it less than the first one because, like I said, I liked it better, I think, than the first one. This was such a good time. I love Gideon. I love a true enemies to lover story, which is what this is. The tension between these two and the longing and the forced proximity scenes that you get are just so perfect. They made me so giddy. And with this being YA or like upper YA, I feel like you get the perfect amount of, I don't want to say spice. They're like pretty much closed door scenes, but you do kind of get some lead up and you get a little bit, you know what I mean? She's not one of those authors who just like leaves you completely hanging. And so you feel satisfied by the romance. But also, this story has such a good fast-paced plot. It was so much fun. I did not want to put this down. Every time I wasn't reading, I was thinking about this and wanting to be reading. So that's always a great sign. 5 stars. What more can I say? If you haven't read this duology yet, definitely recommend picking it up, starting with Heartless Hunter, or it's also called The Crimson Moth, I think, in like the UK. So if you've somehow not heard of this, go read this duology. It's amazing. And then this morning, so I finished that last night. I ended up reading like 300 pages yesterday because, like I said, couldn't put it down. Also brought it with me to my hair appointment, so had extra time to read. And it is now Friday morning, and I didn't plan on reading this morning. I had other things to do, but I was just called. I was feeling called to pick up another book, and so I did start A Dawn of Onyx, which, by the way, I was showing my physical copy. I caved and I bought it on Kindle, even though it's not on Kindle Unlimited, but I had credits, so it was only like $3. Me justifying it. Yeah, no, I really love my new Kindle and I want to read on it, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm already like almost 50 pages into this and I'm loving it. This book follows Arwen, and she lives in the Amber Kingdom, and all of the kingdoms in this book, this series, are based on different stones, different crystals, stones? I think it's stones. But yeah, I think that's really, really unique and fun. We picked up like right off, you're dropped kind of like right into the story. You see Arwen in her day-to-day life. I mean, you get like one day of her life where she is going on a run, and then she goes to the infirmary where she helps heal people, and her kingdom right now is in a really brutal war. Amber Kingdom is not doing well. Her town of Abington is really not doing well. It's like deserted. There's trash everywhere. She's kind of reminiscing on how she misses how lively her town used to be, and now it's like deserted and dead. Her brother's gone. Her brother and her brother's best friend Halden, who she was like basically dating, both get hauled off to war, and it's been a year since she's heard from him, so she's very worried. Things pick right up from chapter like 2 and 3. You're already kind of thrust into the story, and now I want to make sure I don't give anything away. I mean, granted, I'm like very early in on the story. Yeah, so this is all in the back. So she basically gets taken and has to like strike a bargain where she basically offers her healing abilities that she's kind of like been hiding her whole life to heal these Onyx soldiers, and they take her to the Onyx Kingdom, and all she knows of the Onyx Kingdom is that they are brutal and ruthless, and just it's gonna be really dangerous. And so she's headed there, and she's scared, and that is where it left off. And I'm excited. I'm excited for where the story is going. It feels very much classic romantasy, but like sometimes that's all you want, and yet it has the added nuance, the added differences of, like I said, the stones playing a part in these kingdoms, which I think is really fun. So I'm really excited for this. I've heard a lot of people recommending this lately, and yeah, I just want to read today. Although, like I said, it's Friday, so I do have work to do. Unfortunately, I can't just sit and read all day like I want to, but that's okay. I'm gonna have breakfast. I'm gonna get my work done so that the rest of the day, I keep forgetting I actually have a tax appointment today. The rest of the day, besides my tax appointment, which I'm dreading, I will be reading this book. So hopefully, if not later today, then tomorrow I will have some updates for you. But so far we're going 3 for 3 at this point. I mean, first book we read, 4.75. Second book, 5 stars. Like, this vlog is turning out to be a very successful reading week in my life. Anyway, I'm gonna get going because, like I said, I do have things to do today and I can't just read and sit in my robe all day like I would like to. Coming at you live in bad lighting for some reading updates. I have successfully finished the third book of this vlog, A Dawn of Onyx, and I really enjoyed this. I literally just finished this like 2 seconds ago on my Kindle, and yeah, I enjoyed this way more than I thought I was going to. I don't know what is up with me lately going into books with preconceived notions, whether I'm intimidated by them or I think that it's just like not going to be like a high rated book or something. Like, I need to stop doing that, even if it's based on like other people's reviews. Not every time someone likes a book do I like it, and vice versa, and that's okay. That's what's fun about reading. So yeah, I really liked this. I would say since the last time I talked to you, so like the last 20 to 30% of this book, things really picked up. Like, this was a very fast-paced book all throughout, but towards the end, you're just lots of stuff's going on. There are reveals and twists and betrayal, and even though I did guess a few things, a few main plot points, this was still really fun and just everything that I wanted in the moment. Like, it was fast-paced, it was fun, the romanticy, like the romance between our two main characters was so good. There were so many lines that had me like swooning. And our main male character, I'm not gonna give too much away, but man, I loved him. I loved him, Your Honor. That's it. I feel like there's not much that I can really say. It's like not on the back of this, so I'm just going to leave it at this. I do recommend this if you are a fan of just like classic romantasy. I do recommend this. It's not like super spicy, but this is a series, so I'm sure that we will be getting more in the books to come, hopefully. I actually did go pick up A Promise of Peridot today at the bookstore, so I will hopefully be continuing this series very soon. But yeah, this was a great time. I highly recommend. I think I'm gonna land on a rating of, I don't know if it was like quite 5 stars, but very close. So I'm gonna say like 4.5. We're gonna stick with 4.5 and then see where we go from there. If in, you know, a couple days I feel like that's not an accurate rating, I'll change it. But 4.5 right now feels right, feels good. That's it. Loved it. Let me go grab all the books that we read in today's video. I'm in a weird mood today, guys. Sorry. Also, so sorry. You can probably hear my husband, as usual, just chattering in the background. Okay, let's get comfy. We're gonna do a recap of all of the books that we read in this video. We read all 3 books that we set out to read in this TBR takedown video. The whole point of this video was really just that I wanted to mostly start conquering my March TBR, but also just my physical TBR in general, which we did. And we read 3 books off of my TBR. A Dawn of Onyx and Rebel Witch were both on my March TBR that we picked in my TBR Jar Chooses, my March TBR video. So that's great. That's a huge start on the March TBR. And then we did a read it or unhaul it, where we picked A Darker Shade of Magic, and I loved that one too. So yeah, let's start with the first one that we started with. So in this video, we started by reading A Darker Shade of Magic, which I gave 4.75. Yeah, it was like super close, again, to a 5-star. I loved everything about this. I thought this was so unique. This had a lot less romance than what I'm used to, so I think that was kind of a good change of pace for me and something that I really needed in the moment. I loved the atmosphere. Even though going in, I was like, I had a feeling the tone was going to be kind of gloomy. Ended up not being, like, kind of, but not as much as I thought, and didn't affect me in the way that I thought it would. And then just the really unique aspect of traveling in between different Londons that are all on the same timeline. Loved that. This was fast paced. The characters were so fun, so lovable. There's like dark magic and court politics and all of that good stuff, all while you're getting kind of like the scenery of these different Londons. So highly, highly recommend this one. 4.75. And then we, after that, immediately picked up Rebel Witch, which is book 2 in the Crimson Moth duology. And this follows Rune and Gideon. I'm not gonna go over the whole synopsis again. We've already done this. For a recap, this was also a really great time. I did rate this 5 stars. And I do stand by that, because Heartless Hunter I also rated 5 stars. But I would say I kind of feel like I liked this one even more. It's hard to know when it's been a while, you know, since you've read a book. It's been so long since I've read the first one that I can't speak as to like my mindset at the time. But I did rate that one 5 stars at the time, and looking back, I do think I like this one a little more. So obviously this is also 5 stars. 5-star duology all around. Love it. Recommend it. Highly recommend it. This is YA fantasy. So there's very little spice, but like also you do get some, and you get some really good quotes, some really good crumbs of romance. Highly recommend. Check it out. This is one of my top YA duologies series. That was the second one we picked up. Flew right through it. And then obviously the one I just talked about, I'm not going to go over too much, other than, again, I love classic romantasy, quick to read, bingeable, just fun, like fun, silly. I laughed a lot during this actually, and 4.5 stars. So this vlog, again, super successful. We had a 4.75, a 5, and a 4.5. So all right up there in that upper range. As far as the Down of Onyx, I did just mention some of the quotes, and I kind of want to like look back through. She talks about crying all the time, and that was relatable. So I highlighted that. The main character made me laugh so many times. She goes, "My herbs had been sorted not only by color and place of origin, but also by how handsome I thought they would be as boys. Cardamom clearly took the win there, and my boredom had become excruciating." That just goes to show kind of like the overall silly, goofy tone. I had a lot of moments like that in this book where I just was laughing. Yeah, good time. Great, funny, fun time. So this is the pile that we completed, and yeah, that brings us to the end of this reading vlog. I always really like to try to read at least 3 books, and we did. If you have watched throughout and you've made it to the end of this video, I would love it if you could leave like a butterfly for Rebel Witch. Yeah, leave a butterfly if you made it this far. Let me know what you've been reading, what you've been up to. Have you read any good books lately? I'd love to know which ones. Have you read any of these? If you did, what did you think of them? Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy watching these kinds of videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more from me. But thank you so much. I hope you're having a great day whenever you're watching this, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!